Aight, there's a specific feeling, and if you felt it, you already know what I'm talking about. You check your account, and you don't immediately close the app. You just look at the number and breathe. That feeling has nothing to do with being rich. It's not about six figures. There's one number where that shift happens, and it's way smaller than you think. We're talking about your first $10,000. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why that number hits different. Not just in your bank account, but in your brain. Real quick, I'm Rel. I pull real data, real research, real numbers, and I break it down the way your big bro would. No hype, no course to sell you, no Lambo in the thumbnail. Just the actual truth about money. Not financial advice, educational. Now let's get into it. Here's something nobody told you about being broke that has nothing to do with math. When you got nothing saved, like genuinely nothing, your brain is not thinking about the future. It literally cannot. Psychologists call it survival mode. Every single financial decision gets filtered through one question. How do I make it to Friday? You take the first job that pays instead of the one that pays better. You stay in situations you hate because leaving feels too risky. You can't say no to extra shifts even when you're running on empty because you need that money. That's not weakness. That's what no financial cushion does to your decision making. And here's where it gets wild. Vanguard, one of the biggest investment companies in the world, surveyed over 12,000 people to find out what actually drives financial well-being. You know what they found? The single strongest predictor wasn't income, wasn't investments, wasn't assets. It was emergency savings. $2,000 in savings increased financial well-being by 21%. More than earning $500,000 a year, more than having $1 million in assets. Two bands changed how people felt about their entire financial life. And people without any savings were spending 7.3 hours a week just thinking about money stress. Once they hit 2,000, that dropped to 3.7, almost cut in half. That's 3.5 hours of your life back, every single week. So if 2,000 already moves the needle that much, why am I talking about 10,000? Because 2,000 gets you out of survival mode. 10,000 gets you into a completely different game. Here's the progression. 2,000 is your car breaks down and I don't panic money. That's the first exhale. But 10,000, which for most people covers between 3 and 6 months of actual living expenses, something else clicks. You stop reacting to your financial life. You start designing it. Think about what changes at work. Right now, if your boss is out of line, what can you really do? Not much, because you need that next paycheck. But with 10,000 saved, you've got walk-away money. You could leave today, take 4 or 5 months to find something better, and be okay. You probably won't, but knowing you could changes everything about how you show up. You ask for the raise. You push back when something's not right. You're negotiating from strength, not desperation. And here's a stat that'll make you feel something. The Federal Reserve found that nearly 40% of Americans couldn't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing or selling something. $400. 10,000 means you're not in that 40% for anything. Now let me show you what 10,000 actually does mathematically, because this part is low-key insane. Say you're putting away $500 a month, earning a 7% annual return, a realistic long-term average for a diversified index fund. Getting to that first 10,000 takes about 18 months of consistent saving, 1.5 years of discipline. But here's where it gets interesting. Your second 10,000 takes less time, because now that first 10,000 is working alongside your monthly contributions, earning its own returns, same work, same money going in. But the math is working harder for you now. By the time you're at 50,000, your money is doing a serious chunk of the heavy lifting. A 7% return on 50,000 is $3,500 a year just showing up. Money you didn't have to earn with your time. That's the machine starting to run. And it all traces back to getting that first 10 built. I want to talk about something that sounds soft, but is actually the most practical part of this whole video. Saving 10,000 from nothing requires something from you. You had to say no to things you wanted. You had to stay consistent for over a year. You had to prove to yourself that you can control money instead of money controlling you. That's not just a financial win. That's an identity shift. Before 10,000, buying something expensive is a question mark. Can I actually afford this? After 10,000, that same purchase becomes a choice. You're not hoping you can afford it. You're deciding whether it's worth it. Completely different relationship with money. And the discipline it took to get there, that same muscle gets you to 50,000, to 100, to financial independence. The number almost doesn't matter. What matters is you proved you're the type of person who follows through when it's hard. That doesn't go away. Aight, so here's the actual move. If you don't have 10,000 yet, 2 places your money needs to go, in this order. First, a high-yield savings account for your emergency buffer. I keep saying this because it keeps being true. The national average savings rate right now is about 0.38%. The top high-yield accounts are paying between 4 and 5% APY FDIC insured. Same dollar, roughly 10 times the return. Your emergency fund needs to be in one of these, not sitting in a regular savings account earning basically nothing. Second, once your buffer's covered, the rest starts compounding in a retirement account or brokerage. Doesn't have to be a huge amount, has to be something, consistently. I've linked the specific accounts I've researched in the description, ones with no minimums, no nonsense fees. Full transparency. Some are affiliate links, meaning if you open one through my link, the channel earns a small commission at no extra cost to you. I only link things I'd actually tell someone I care about to use. You can search any of them yourself and skip the link entirely. The move matters way more than the link. Real quick, where are you right now? Be honest. Do you have at least 2,000 saved? Enough to cover a real emergency without borrowing? Point. Is that money in a high-yield account earning actual interest, not just sitting in a regular savings account earning nothing? Point. Do you have a clear specific target you're working toward? Your 10,000 number? Point? 0 out of 3? You're not behind? You're at the exact starting line where the whole game changes. 3 out of 3? You already know what I'm talking about. Keep going. $10,000 won't make you rich, but it will make you free. Free from survival mode, free from money running your decisions, free to start thinking about what you actually want your life to look like. That's worth more than any number in a bank account. Next week, I'm breaking down the exact money moves that work in your 30s, but destroy you in your 40s. And it's gonna hit different. Subscribe if you want that. I'm Rel. I'll catch you next week.